This video is part of a tutorial to help you create an AI call assistant. We use voice over IP to create an AI softphone. This video is about making and accepting SIP VoIP calls. You will learn how to make and receive calls, how to handle signaling, and how to work with real-time audio. Why do we need to make and accept calls in a VoIP softphone? Registering a softphone to a PBX only makes it reachable on the network, but without dedicated logic for making and accepting calls. The phone would simply sit idle, unable to originate a call or respond when someone dials in. Handling calls means reacting to a sequence of states, an incoming call arriving, the call being answered, audio actively flowing, and eventually the call ending and wiring the right media handlers to the call object at each stage. What is a SIP call? A SIP call is a voice or video session established between two SIP endpoints through a series of signaling messages, including invite, trying, ringing, 200, OK, and ACK that negotiate who is calling whom, and which audio codec and network port to use. Once the signaling exchange completes, the two endpoints exchange RTP media packets directly to carry the actual voice data, and the call ends when either side sends a BYE acknowledge with a 200 OK, tearing down the session and releasing its resources. How does this solution work? A complete SIP call begins when the caller sends an invite through the PBX to the callee, triggering signaling messages like 100, trying, 180 ringing, and a 200 OK with the agreed codec and RTP port, which the caller confirms with an ACK so that audio can flow directly between the two softphones over RTP. Either side can end the call by sending a BYE, which the other side acknowledges with a final 200 OK to tear down the dialogue and release the call's resources. To move forward, you need to be familiar with the following terms. What is a SIP invite PDU? Is the message a SIP user agent sends to initiate a VoIP call, specifying the caller, callee, and the proposed media session in its headers and SDP body. What is a SIP trying PDU? A SIP trying PDU is a provisional response. The PBX or SIP server sends to indicate that it has received the invite and is currently attempting to locate and alert the called party. What is a SIP ringing PDU? A SIP ringing PDU is a provisional response sent when the destination user agent is being alerted, informing the caller that the remote phone is currently ringing. What is a SIP OK invite PDU? A SIP OK invite PDU is the final 200 class response indicating that the called party has accepted the call, completing the invite transaction and establishing the SIP dialog. The key source code shows the main method in program, CS, which is the entry point of the application. It initializes the softphone, subscribes to the registration state, call state, and incoming call events, then calls the registration method to connect to the PBX, and once registered enters a loop asking the user to dial a number or accept an incoming call. To test the solution, start the Asterisk PBX, connect to the Asterisk console and enable SIP debugging with the SIP set debug on command. Then place a call from the softphone and watch the console output to observe the full invite. Trying, ringing, OK, ACK, and BYE messages exchanged during the call in real time. To analyze the network traffic, you can use Wireshark. Check out the following video how to capture the SIP call, make and accept traffic on your network. In this video, we covered how to make and accept SIP VoIP calls using the VoIP-SIP-SDK in C#. We explored the complete SIP call flow and walked through the source code for call management, device handling, and media connections. Thank you for watching. And be sure to check out the next tutorial on controlling the call on our journey towards creating an AI call assistant.